Hi, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I'm back again for another deck tech. We were having a chat on my stream, which you can find down below and follow us. That'd be great if you did, thank you. We were having a talk the other day about Urza and how much we dislike playing against Urza on MTGO. And we were talking about this, and I thought, okay, I might go and have a look and see how much Urza is. Yeah, Urza is ridiculously expensive, as you could imagine. It's not the cheapest card to buy on MTGO at all, in any shape, form or substance. So I gave up on that idea really quickly. But what I did do was decide to have a think about what I could do as a mono blue commander. And one of the things I then came up with was thinking about this deck that I'm going to talk about now in this video quickly. I'm not saying this is anywhere near tuned. I haven't played it yet at all. It is something I'm quite interested in playing at some stage, but at the moment, I'm not quite sure when I'm going to get the chance to play it. So, without further ado, here's the deck I wanted to talk to you about this evening. Orvar, the All-Form. 3 in blue, Changeling, legendary creature shapeshifter. It's a Changeling, obviously, so it's got all creature types, which doesn't really have much effect on this, but it does help a little bit in some cases. And it says, whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, if it targets one or more other permanents you control, create a token that's a copy of one of those permanents. When a spell or ability an opponent controls causes you to discard this permanent, create a token that's a copy of this permanent. Now, I've got this built in real life, and I've never got round to building it on MTGO. And I thought, okay, I've got a slightly better card selection on MTGO, as you can see by some of the cards that's staring at you at the moment. So I thought I'd give it a go and see what I came up with. So I'll start with the mana base. Arch is in here for card draw. Ventress is in here for scrying. Command Tower because I just wanted another land that did something different. Same with reason for desert. Fabled Passage and Field of the Dead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... 5 lands there that may trigger it. And then down the bottom here, after all the islands, got Miracos, Center of the Sea, we've got Mystic Sanctuary, Nykthos Shrine to Nyx, Path of Ancestry, and Reliquary Tower. The idea is that, you know, maybe Field of the Dead, if it can survive, will be a little bit more of a win condition than it would be normally for most decks, because this is mono blue and it's very hard to get all the lands in. If you disagree, please feel free, comment below, let me know what you think. Obviously, Orvar is 3 in blue, so we've got the blue, but I wanted some way of ramping into it quickly. So Mox Tantalites here to give me an extra blue mana later on in the game. Mana Crypts here to give me the 2 extra mana I need. So in theory, if I went turn 1 island with Sol Ring and then turn 2 Mana Crypt, I can get Orvar down on turn 2, or another land with the Sol Ring. That's why they're in here. Expedition maps in here, so it goes and gets me a land card. Idealistically, this would be probably for Nykthos down here, so I can go and fetch this out. But if I'm drawing lots of cards, I might want to get Reliquary Tower. If I want to get something back into my great on top of my library, I can go and get Mystic Sanctuary. That's the only reason that's in here. We've got a few ways of protecting Orvar when it comes into play. I've got Swiftfoot Boots. I've got Lightning Greaves. They kind of give it Hexproof or Shroud and Haste. Haste bit's not really relevant. We're not really going to be attacking with it that much. It's there to help things out. The other artifacts I've got in here, as you can see from here, are Mindstone Signet, Mindstone, because we might have that in there to go and draw a card at the end of the day or add some colourless mana. Arcane Signet's another blue mana source if we need it. Sapphire Medallion cuts down the cost of all our spells, so you know, in an ideal world, turn 1 this with this and this. Turn 2, we can get Orvar out that way. So there's lots of ways of getting Orvar out on turn 2 if we wanted to go that way. Beyond that, I went with very few creatures compared to my normal decks. As you can see from up here on the count, I've got 20 creatures and 43 other cards in the deck. So the other creatures, I'll go through quickly. We've got Baral, Chief of Compliance, so we can cut down the cost for our instants and sorceries. Cloud of Fairies to untap some lands. Sorry, I thought I was going to cough at you all then. Cloud Kinseer to draw a card. Seagate Oracle to manipulate the top of our library if we need to. Wavebreaker Hippocant, which we'll come back to, but it draws a card. We've also got Metamorph to copy something. We've got Master of the Waves to give us loads of creatures if we need to win. That's one way of winning. Murmuring Mystic, again, we're going to be casting a lot of instants and sorceries, so we get some birds out. Shakazima, Face 1,000 Faces. This copying Orvar is one of the daftest things I've done in real life, so that's pretty good. Spark Double's there as well for the same idea. Copy Orvar if we can. Archomancer to return sorceries or instants cast from our graveyard to our hand. Archmage to draw more cards as we cast instants and sorceries. Talarin's there for Sky Summoner. Again, we get 2/2 Drakes off this one, which are a little bit bigger than the ones we get off Murmuring Mystic, but you know, it's all the same idea. Solemn Simulacrum to go and fetch some basic lands out of our library and make our draws for instants and sorceries a little bit better. Mind Flayer to gain control of something. Hopefully I'd use this to nick someone else's commander, which would be nice. Mole Drifter, draw cards. We can evoke it early if we're a bit behind, it's fine. Mnemonic Wall, same idea. Get an instant or sorcery from our graveyard back to our hand. Agent of Treachery, because I'm playing mono blue, and why wouldn't you play it to nick people's stuff? Scourge of the Fleets to bounce everything. We're going to have a lot of islands in play with a bit of luck, so we'll be able to return lots of creatures with toughness X or less to their owner's hand. And if we return one of ours, oh well, we return one of ours. Elagith Crossroads Augurs in here because I wanted to try out and see. There's a little bit of scrying in here, it's not a lot, and the extra card draw might be helpful, so we'll see how it goes. This, like I say, it's not one I play in my deck at the moment. I can't remember what I do play. I think it might be Kenji the Dragon, so I can go and nick someone's permanent, but I'm trying this out for a bit of a change. So that brings us on nicely to the instance of sorceries. If you remember, Orvar, when you target something, you get a copy of it, or you make a token that's a copy of it. Okay, so what I'm looking to do is copy my stuff. The more copies of my stuff I can make, the more things I'm going to get, the bigger this game's going to go. So we've got a few things to help with that. We've got a little bit of card draw. So Brainstorm's card draw, Ponder's card draw, Preordain's in here for card draw. That's the early bit. I've also chucked in, because I've got one on MTGO, Time Twister. Don't even worry about it. This, if you haven't got it in real life, just play something else. This is just because I've got one on here, and I thought I might as well chuck it in this deck if I'm going to play it on here. And then obviously we've got Jace as well. That's a backup win condition that I'll come to in a little while. And where is it? Jace's Sanctum, we get to scry, so that helps with the drawing from here. And there was something else I was going to talk about. Metallurgic Summonings. Instant sorceries creates tokens, which is nice. So that's that side of it. But the main thing we want to be doing, as I was saying before I got completely sidetracked in that section, was to talk about how we're going to target things. So we've got Twiddle, going to untap our lands or tap them. We've got Triton Tactics. We're going to target this at the creatures we have in play. Hopefully, if we've got Orvar in play, we get copies of those creatures. So that's quite nice. Trait Doctoring's really good. Change the text of a target permanent, replacing all instants of one colour word with another, or basic land type with another until the end of turn. Don't forget, we can target this at one of our islands, turn it into, I don't know, a forest for a turn, but because we're targeting an island, we get another copy of an island that stays in play when Orvar's in play. Slip out the backs there, same idea. It can also, it does protect Orvar. It's one of the other ways we've got protecting Orvar. But if we got Orvar in play and we target one of our creatures with this, that one will phase out, we'll get a copy of it. Pongify's in here just to blow stuff up if we need to, which is fine. Giga Drowse is great. 1 and replicate for 1. So if we've got 6 mana in play, we can target, we can tap down 6 islands, get 6 more islands, for example. It's fantastic. It works really well. Early Frost is here, same idea. We can tap 3 of our lands, get 3 more of them. That sounded good to me. Again, Enervate's here. It also means we can draw a card at the beginning of our opponent's upkeep, which is fine. Psychic Puppetry's here. We can splice it onto Arcane if we need to, but again, it untaps or untaps things. We're going to start copying it. Same with Shimmer Mirage. Target land becomes a basic land type of your choice until the end of turn. Notice we can turn an island into an island and draw a card, which is really nice. Ghostly Flicker's in here. We can exile 2 of our lands and bring them back in. Get 2 more lands, which is great. Windfall is the other option. Sorry, I forgot about Windfall, Time Twister. That helps as well, but we're not going there at the moment. Mirror Maid. Enters the battlefield as a copy of any target, of any artifact or enchantment on the battlefield. This does have its uses. There's a reason I have it in here, which is to do with this card, Primal Amulet. I'd like to copy this, get more of him, makes all my instants of sorceries even cheaper, and then if we can get that far, we're going to get lots of copies as we do the Primal Wellspring thing, which is nice. Quasi-duplicates in there, same idea, but that's going to be used to copy one of the creatures that isn't a legendary one, unless we have Mirror Box in play. Mirror Box, if you haven't seen it before, is an artifact for 3 mana that says the legend rule doesn't apply to permanents you control. Each legendary creature you control gets +1/+1. Each non-token creature you control gets +1/+1 for each other creature you control with the same or name as that creature. Doesn't do a lot for the other creatures, but it does help with the legendary creatures, so it makes them a little bit bigger. If we've got this in play Orvar, it's a 4/4, which is nice. Likewise, Helm of the Host is in here. This is an expensive equipment, not cost-wise, just using price. 4 to cast, 5 to equip. But the upside is, if you've got it equipped at the start of combat, you get a copy of that creature. So if you equip this to Orvar, you only get 2 Orvars, and it stays in play. Again, it's even better with the Mirror Box, and so on and so forth. Mindflower I mentioned earlier. And so this is what the deck's trying to do. It's basically trying to overpower with lots and lots of things at target so we can ramp up our mana really quickly. And then start eventually getting Helm of the Host and copying it. One thing I will point out is if we've got Mirror Box in play, we can copy Helm of the Host with one of the things that lets us tap an artifact. There you go, tap target artifact. It's still an artifact, mind games. And it's got buyback. Forgot about that bit. That's quite good. But if we've got Mirror Box in play, we can copy Helm of the Host and have multiple Helm of the Hosts and get multiple creatures and so on and so forth. So it gets a snowball effect. To try and protect this a little bit, I have got Counterspell in here. I have got Mana Drain in here just to help us a little bit from that point of view. And if we're getting too far behind, we've got Cyclonic Rift to bounce everyone else's stuff back to their hands, because overload cost should be quite easy. And with things like Mnemonic Wall and the other creatures I was talking about earlier that I've now forgotten about, Archomancer, we can get that back. We can cast it 2, maybe 3 times in a game. So it works quite well. The other thing in here worth pointing out is Mirari Conjecture. Every turn this saga goes off. We can return an instant, then return a sorcery, and if we get it up to 3 and it goes off until the end of turn, whenever we cast an instant sorcery, we copy it. So we get another way of copying stuff. The final thing to point out is Mind's Desire. Again, this is a card I'm trying out in this deck. Am I convinced by it? I don't know yet. But, you know, we've got a lot of ways of making lots of land really quickly. We've got lots of cheap cantrips and instants down here, and Baral obviously to make things even cheaper. So it's probably worth a try. I'm going to try it out in a game at some stage and see if it works. I'm hoping it does, just for my own satisfaction. But that's really the deck. I am going to play it sometime, and I'm going to put a video up about it. I haven't done it yet. I got a bit carried away at the weekend at the 2 Commander Legends Baldur's Gate pre-releases I went to. There are videos up on the channel. There's definitely one up at the moment. I'm trying to get another one up. It's taken a long time to upload. So this is just a short deck tech, for want of a better word. And because Baldur's Gate isn't available on MTGO yet, what I am going to do is I'm going to do some deck techs coming up shortly about how I would build certain commanders that have come out in that set, and I'll just have to do it similar to this, but I'll probably have to do it on one of the websites to let me upload a deck, and I'll go through the cards that I've put in the deck. Not quite as good fun as this, but obviously they're the decks I'll be looking to build once we get some of the cards from paper onto MTGO, which I understand at the moment is hopefully going to be the 15th of June. Fingers crossed, but I expect they'll be expensive. So, on that note, if you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel. Please follow the link that's down below here and go and join me on Twitch and follow me on Twitch. You know, love it if you could subscribe over there. That would really help the channel out. I'm trying to build it all up. I'm sitting at 80 something followers at the moment over there. I'd really like to try and hit 100, maybe a couple of hundred at some stage if I'm really lucky. So if you enjoyed this, please leave any comments below. If you don't like the way I'm presenting it, let me know. Let me know what I can change. Let me know what I can make it better. I'm trying to build this up. I'm trying to build a really nice Commander community that we can all be proud of and take part in as things go forward. So that's it from me for this video. I hope you enjoyed this really quick deck tech. Hopefully I'll see some of you in the stream at some stage, but if I don't, Well, thanks for watching this far through the video. I really do appreciate it. It's another 15 minutes I've got towards my goal here. So thank you very much. Take care. And hopefully I'll see you on stream soon. Bye.